Hello everyone, welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at the City of Ember, Chapter 8, Exploration. And this chapter is all about Dune, really. And it starts off with Dune realizing kind of how things work at the pipeworks. Most of the work that the workers do is pretty fast and easy. So you can just run over to where your job is, you can fix the pipe pretty easily, and then you have the rest of the day to just do whatever. Most of the pipe workers kind of get together and they play games or talk or sleep, whatever. But Dune, he doesn't want to do that. He feels this urgency to do something, that there's no time to lose. And so he explores the pipeworks, looking for something important, something that people missed. And so he just goes and explores. He finishes his work quickly, and then he just explores the pipeworks, goes down tunnels, and goes deeper and further in. And he's found a lot of cool things. He found like this little tiny bug. He found a furry moth. He even found what we would know as a snail, but it's a squishy and small and has a shell on it that's spiraled. And as he's looking at this bug, as it's slowly crawling up his arm, some other workers see him and they start laughing. Oh, ha ha ha, look, there's Bug Boy. Hey, Bug Boy. Now, when they start teasing Dune, Dune gets really angry and he gets up really quickly and he starts yelling at them. You guys. So I don't know what he's yelling. It doesn't really show us. But something really tragic happens. As Dune gets up, the little snail falls off his arm, and as Dune's yelling at the people, his foot goes and he crunches it. Dune knows exactly what happened, but he doesn't show it to the other people, and he just still yells at them. They go away, and oh, he looks under his foot. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kill you. And he thinks about his father, saying unintended consequences. When you get angry, things happen that you don't want to happen. And he feels really sorry for that little bug. Well, so he continues on. He goes deeper and further into the pipeworks. He finds this passage that says caved in, but he goes underneath and oh, it looks fine. And there's no light, so he has to feel along the side, and he finds a door, but it's locked. So he goes back. He finds a passage on the ceiling, but he can't reach it and see what's in there. He finds all sorts of different things deep into the tunnels, but nothing important. He even finds, I think, 2 supply closets, which is kind of cool. Sometimes on his days off, he would go walk around the river. And he wouldn't go to where the generator was, because that kind of made him feel a little sad. But he would go to the other side where the water goes away. And the rocks on the water were kind of in a really special shape because of the water hitting them always. And so he loved to go sit there and hang out. Well, he kind of explores everywhere he can explore. He doesn't know what else to do, and he has 2 choices. One, he can give up and just be like everyone else. Or 2, he can do something more, and he thinks, oh, if I could just find a traveling light, I could explore more. And so he puts his extra time and energy into figuring out how he can make a traveling light. And his idea is fire. Oh, maybe I could do something with fire. So he goes to the library. Now, the library isn't very well organized. It has 2 sections. 1, fiction, stories that people make up. 2, nonfiction, stories about real things. So he goes to the nonfiction area and he looks for fire. Now, if we go to a library, the books are ordered by maybe the author, or it could even be the subject. And so for Dune's library, it's all ordered by subject. For like, but it's not really useful because if you try to find something like moth, okay, you want to find a book about moths, you would think, oh, okay, well, let's go to M, moth. But it's not in the M section. It might be in the flying things section. It could be in the B section for bugs. It could be in the I section for insects. So you really had to go everywhere in the library to check anyways to find any books about moths. So he goes in, he looks for F for fire. He finds one book about fire that's not really anything helpful. In fact, Dune thinks he could write a better book than the one he finds. It's all about the dangers of fire. But Dune wants to know how to create fire, how to control fire, how to use it so it didn't burn so long. And he doesn't really find too much. So then he goes and looks at another book, because sometimes Dune, when he'd go to the library, couldn't find what he was looking for, and he'd just walk around and, oh, just pick this book. Whoa, hey, this book's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. So he was hoping that he would just walk around and find some special book that would give him the answer he needed, or the spark to give him the idea. Well, nothing happened. But he did find a really cool book about old words, words that we don't use anymore because their meaning has kind of disappeared. And I have a few of those in our vocabulary words. But a few that we know, he's like, boat. Oh, what's a boat? Or there's another one, I'm trying to think. I can't remember. But there were plenty there. And so he just kind of looks at all those different words. And as he's about ready to leave, he sees Lena. All right, let's hit this vocabulary. First one is lounged. Lounged is, just kind of relaxing, laying around, not really doing much, relaxing. And all the other workers lounged around after they finished their job. Fascination. This really strong focus on something because it's so amazing. And Dune would look at, whoa, these insects with fascination. Shriveled, shriveled means all the water was taken out. And so he finds some old food in one of the storage closets that had been shriveled up. It was all old and dead, and there was no water left in it. Caved in. If you imagine a cave, and if it goes in, this is what we call caved in. Actually, it'd probably be bent down like that, but my fingers can't go that direction. But it collapses, and Dune sees the sign that says tunnel caved in. But it wasn't, so that's interesting. Groped. Groped is like feeling with your hands. He can't see inside the cave because it's dark, so he has to grope around, feel around, and move because he can't see anything. Creases. A crease is like a wrinkle. If you imagine a paper and if you bend the paper in half, there's going to be a crease on the edge, okay? And where the river is hitting the rocks, there are these creases, smooth creases from the water pushing through. And there's also crevices. Crevices are a little bit deeper and stronger than creases. So a crease maybe is not maybe like this deep, okay? And a crevice is kind of like this, where maybe you can't see the bottom of it, or it's so thin you can't push your finger in there. Probably spiders or bugs live in crevices. Untidy means not clean. Tidy is clean or organized well. Un means not. So not clean, not organized well. Hogwash. It even says in the book what this word means. It means nonsense or foolish. Maybe your friend tells you a story and you say, that's hogwash. That's not true. That's silly. That's not important. All right, discussion question. What would you do with your free time in the pipeworks? Okay, if you were one of the pipework workers and you finished your job really quickly, what would you do with your time? Would you play cards? Would you take a nap? Would you talk with friends? Would you go explore? Right, there's so many different things to do. What would you do? Of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.